This is Gemara Nedarim Daf Gimel. All the learning for this month, the month of Teves, has been generously sponsored by a close friend of the Daf, as Chos Elias Neshama, Paryalei Ben Yaakov, V'siyat Deshmaya. The learning the entire Chabura as we eyeball the end of Meseches Nedarim should bring Aryalei Ben Yaakov to a higher iron place in Gan Eden Shel Maila. So we're holding on the bottom of Pei Beis and Mei Beis, and we're in the middle of discussing the din of Rav Yochanan. Rav Yochanan, just to remind ourselves, 6 lines at the bottom of the Amid taught as follows. Amar Rav Yochanan, Mefer le'misaneh, ve'ein mefer l'she'ein misaneh. And what's the case? The case is if a woman makes a neder, mishtei kikarais, ba'achas misaneh, ba'achas ve'ein misaneh. A woman makes a neder from 2 kikarais, 2 loaves of bread, and not eating one of those loaves of bread causes her inui, but the other one does not. So what is the status with regard to afara of such a neder? So Rav Yochanan came along and Rav Yochanan taught us that the husband is only made for the neder that causes her pain. For example, if there's one white loaf of bread and there's one whole wheat, she doesn't like whole wheat, so he can be made for the misaneh, he can be made for the white loaf of bread, but he's not made for the other loaf of bread. So Eisvei, we continue, 2 lines on the bottom of Pei Beis and Beis, asks the Gemara on the Shita of Rav Yochanan. Eisvei, ha'isha she'nadra b'nazir. A woman makes a neder of a nazir. This is a little bit of an introduction to Meseches Nadir coming up very soon. She makes a neder that she's going to be a nazir. She's not going to drink wine. She's not going to become tamei meis, etc. And then what happens? And then after making such a neder, she goes and what does she do? She's doing exactly what she's not allowed to do. She's drinking wine and she becomes tamei meis. So what is the din? Says the Brisa. As we turn over to Begimel Amen Aleph, Arizeh Soifeges Esar Bayim. Says the Brisa Nazir, she receives Malkus. Hofer La Baila. Continues the Brisa. What happens if the husband is made for the neder? Vihi Lo Yada. And she does not know She'efer La that the husband was made for the neder. And Vaisa Shaisa Yayin Umetam Lemesim. She doesn't know the husband was made for the neder, and she thinks she's doing an aveira. She's drinking wine and she's becoming tamei meis. Still, what is the halacha? She might think she's doing a aveira. However, at the end of the day, her husband was made for the neder, and therefore she does not get malchus. End of excuse me. End of Raisa Meseches Nazir. Now the Gemara articulates the question on Rav Yochanan. 4 lines down. Ask the Gemara, according to you, Rav Yochanan, that you're only made for the parts of the neder which cause her pain, and not the other parts. So it suggests the Gemara, Tilma min yayin disla tzayir haferla. So perhaps this woman became a Nazir. Which part of the Naziros is that which causes her pain? Is that which is misaneh law? Suggests the Gemara. Perhaps it is what? It is the drinking wine. So maybe just the drinking wine is that which the husband was made for. Min chartzim, min azog, from the grape skins and the grape peels, which do not cause her pain to not eat them. The husband was not made for them from her. Why? Because she does not get any tsar from not eating the grape skins and the grape peels, etc. And therefore asks the Gemara, why did the Brisa say a blanket statement that if the husband was made for it, she does not get malchus? But wait, maybe the husband was only made for the parts that cause her pain, and therefore what? She goes and she eats the grapes. She should get malchus because that part of the neder was never made for. So from the fact that in the Brisa it says a straight statement that she does not get malchus would seemingly point not like Rav Yochanan, and would teach us that when the husband is made for the neder, the entire neder is revoked. Answers the Gemara, no kasha from here. Rav Yochanan Amar Rav Yosef, ein naziros lechatzayin. You can't ask from this case of naziros is different, and therefore there's no such thing as half Naziris. And therefore if the husband was made for part of it, the entire Naziris is undone, because when it comes to Naziris, it suggests Rav Yosef, there's no such thing as having part Naziris and part not. Amarle Abaya, asked Abaya and Rav Yosef 1 second. Har Karban Lechatzi Naziris. Ika. Asked Abaya, what do you mean? Why don't we say, Rav Yosef sounded like there ain't Naziris Lechatzayin. But it sounded like it's only an issue that you can't have Naziris in part. But with regard to having the Karbanos of Naziris in part, that did not seem to be the issue of Rav Yosef. So Abaya asks a nitty-gritty question of Rav Yosef, HaKarbon Lechatzi Naziris Ika? Is there such an entity of Karbon Lechatzi Naziris? Sounds like you're just bothered by the creation of Naziris. But a Karbon wouldn't bother you. Ask Rabbiya, why not? Elam Rabbiya, so Rabbiya says, you know really what Rav Yosef meant? Ein Naziris Lechatzayin, Vein Karbon Lechatzayin. That's why you cannot ask a question from this Brisa Naziris. We wanted to prove from here, not like Rav Yechanan, that when you're made for the whole thing is Afara, and it's not just the parts that cause your Inoi. Says the Gemara, you can't ask from here, because this is the din of Naziris. And Naziris cannot be split in half. So Meisvei asks the Gemara further. So now we're not asking on Rav Yechanan, we asked on Rav Yechanan, we segue to answer up the Brisa. With regard to Naziros, teaching like Rav Yosef Abaya that there's no such thing as having half Naziros, half Karbanis. On that din, on the din that the Gemara just suggested, that there's no such thing as half Naziros, half Karbanis, on that asks the Gemara, Meisvei from a brisa that says, Isha Shenadra Benazir Vefrisha Behemta, she makes a neder, and then she does what? She's mafresh her behema, v'achach avla baila. And then the husband comes along and is made for the neder. Mevia chatas oif, veinai mevia oilas oif. The halacha of this brisa says all that she has to bring is one carbon, the chatas, but not the oila. Generally, what does a nazir bring? 3 carbonos, the chatas, oila, and shlamim. Says this brisa, if the husband was made for the neder, she only brings the chatas and not the oila. Asks the Gemara 1 second, but if you're going to tell me there's no such thing that you can't revoke part of Naziris, it's either all or none, so then what is going on over here? There should be no Naziris at all. So why is she bringing a chatas, ha'oif? She should have to bring nothing. So responds the Gemara, excuse me, Ve'ela, 10 lines at the bottom, first word line is Mai. Ve'ela Mai yesh carbon l'chatzi Naziris. So that rather, what are you going to tell me that no, there is such a thing, you could bring karbanos for partial naziris. If that is true, then shalosh behemoth ba'ilasuye. You should have to bring the requisite karbanos of every nazir, 3 behemoths, chatas oila v'shlamim. So why would you bring just the chatas? So the Gemara is bothered by this concept of ein naziris l'chatzayin that has drove us into hot water, that regardless the way you're going to play it, this brisa that says that she only has to bring a chatas after the husband was made for the neder, and not to oilam the shlamim, is problematic. Ela la'olam. So rather the Gemara concludes, in carbon l'chatzi naziros, really you're right, there's no such thing as karbanos for chatzi naziros. So then why is this woman bringing a chatas? Says the Gemara, don't ask from chatas. This case of chatas is different. You know why? Because the halacha is you could bring a chatas on a suffix. The other karbana is to shlamim da'ila. There's no such thing as bringing for a suffix. Why not? Because you're going to potentially run into the issue of bringing chulin la'azara. If you're not sure, if you're obligated to bring a carbon, you can't just bring a carbon and say, oh, maybe. Why not? The reason bringing, because if you were not obligated, you're bringing something that his chulin is non-consecrated onto the mizbeach, which you're not allowed. But a chatas is different. You're allowed to bring a chatas, a special kula, for a suffix. So we answered up our sidebar question about Naziris, the chatzayin. And now we go back to our original discussion, which is Rav Yechanan. Rav Yechanan, who taught us that when you're made for a neder, you could be made for the part which causes inoi, causes affliction like the white bread, and you're not made for the whole neder. Eisvei. So ask the Gemara a second question for today on Rav Yechanan. 4 lines from the bottom. She makes a neder and she becomes tamei. Then the husband is made for the neder. What's the halacha? Mevia chatas oif, vein mevia oilas oif. She brings a chatas and not an oila. Ask the Gemara. But according to Rav Yechanan, what was the klal the klal was that you could undo the part of the neder that causes inoi, and you don't have to undo the entire neder. So ask the Gemara that if that is true, according to Rav Yechanan, as we turn over to Pei Gimel Amid Beis, Dilma, ask the Gemara, Miyayin this latzara for law. We know in this case, husband is made for the neder. So ask the Gemara, wait, how much of the neder was the husband made for? Maybe from wine, which causes her pain. She enjoys a cup of wine. That is which the husband is made for. But mitumas meis las latzar lo yafer lo. But tumas meis, which does not cause her tsar, maybe that part the husband was not made for. So ask the Gemara again on Rav Yechanan, as his prices seems to indicate that when you're made for the neder, you're made for the whole thing. Answers the Gemara, Amri tumas meis nami is latzar. No. The reason why in this case you're made for the whole neder is because both not drinking wine and not becoming tamei meis are entities that cause her tsar. Why? Dechsev, as the pasuk says, "V'chayit in elibai," that the chai and the living should take it to heart, and we darshan from here. V'tanya Yeramei Reimer. My dechsev v'chayit in elibai. What does this pasuk teaches us? The yisbod yisbedain lei. Those who give a smedim when they are nifter, they will have a smedim said for them. The yifkun lei. If you cry for others, they will cry for you. Dikvar yikberenu lei. And therefore, the person wants to go become tamei. For which reason? So that it will eventually get it back to himself in the future. And therefore it concludes the Gemara of Yechanan has stood the test of time. We had two different questions asking on this idea of Rav Yechanan, who said that you only mefer the part which causes inoi, and the Gemara has stood its own, and we're concluding here that this part of the neder does cause inoi, both parts of the neder, and that's the reason why if the husband would be mefer, it would be mefer the whole thing. We continue with the new Mishnah, the Gimel Amid Beis, continuing the discussion within the Shita of Rav Yaisi, what is considered a neder of inui nefesh. Koinam shani nene lebriyos. If someone says a neder, that which I have a benefit from people, eino yachal offer, that is not considered a neder of inui nefesh, and the husband cannot be made for the neder. Yachali lehanos belechet shuach, and explains the brisa. What's the reason that it's not considered a neder of getting affliction? She cannot get benefit from people. The reason is she could always get the manas aniyim, the leket shicha peah, the corner of the field, the leftover sheaves, the leftover bundle that the woman could get benefit from. So it's not considered inui nefesh for not to get benefit from people. Case number 2 of the Mishnah. Koinim kohanim leviim nahanimli. Someone says, I'm making a neder, kohanim and leviim cannot get any benefit from me. Yilu al karchai kahanim elu uleviim elu. What's the halacha? The truma and meiser the kohanim take against his will. Kohanim elu. Excuse me. One more time. I read that incorrectly. One more time. Yichali lanis kohanim leviim and li. What's the halacha? Yilu al karcham. The kohanim and leviim take it against his will. But if he specified kohanim elu leviim elu nanim li, said these kohanim and leviim cannot get benefit from me, then Yilu Acherim, then they cannot get benefit, but other Kohanim and Leviim will get benefit from him. And we're also going to begin the Gemara. The Gemara says, Alma Efshad Mizana Midilei, for the first part of the Mishnah, that when someone says you're not going to get benefit from people, we said that's not called Inui Nefesh, because you could just drink you could just have Leket Shechan Peah. What does it sound like? It sounds like that she could sustain herself. She could always get from his own properties. Sounds like when a woman makes a neder against brio's people, her husband's not included. But then the next line of the Mishnah said what? Says that where could she get fed from? But it sounds like she cannot get benefit from the husband. Alma Baal Bichlal Briyasu. So says the Gemara, the first din in the Mishnah seemingly is contradictory. She yes or no allowed to get benefit from her husband? Is her husband included in Briyos or not? So Amar Ula La'ilam Lav Bichlal Briyos, really the husband is not included in people. And the way to learn the Mishnah is a second reason why she's allowed, that he's not allowed to be made for the neder. Because one reason is she can get benefit from her husband's property. A second reason is why she could go get lechet shecha and peah, so it's not a big deal that she can't get benefit from people. Answer number one. Answer number two, Rav Amar Leilam Baal B'chlal Brios. Whether the husband is included. He. U'ma'atam kamar, and the Mishnah is explaining. Ma'atam in yachal afer. So if the husband is included in Brios, so what is the reason why he cannot be made for the neder? She can't get any benefit. You know why? Because she can always get benefit from lechet shecha and peah. Therefore, it's not a big deal that she cannot get benefit from people, and therefore the husband cannot be made for the neder. And it's not called a neder of inui nefesh. And thirdly, Rav Nachman Amar. Really, she gets benefit from the husband. But what does it mean? That means in the case of divorce. So three different answers. Ula and Rav Nachman explaining that the husband is not included in the neder and she can get benefit from her husband. And either the Mishnah is teaching us, A, she can get benefit from the husband, and furthermore, she can get lechet shecha and peah. Or, says Rav Nachman, the Mishnah is teaching us what happens in the time of divorce. Rav is answering that really the husband is included. If the husband is included, then what is the reason he can't be made for the neder? If she cannot get any benefit from anyone, the reason is because she always can have lechet shecha and peah. Pick it up for the next Amud in the next year, in Mirza Hashem.